So let's talk a little bit about supporting your partner in labor. During labor, your partner probably won't be able to communicate as well as they can when they're not in labor. And so communicating with your partner and understanding what it is that they need may feel a little more challenging because the communication piece is not as easy. If they don't want something, they may just push it away, or they might say like, no, you know what I mean? Because it's hard to be polite in labor and no one should have to feel like they need to be polite in labor. Sometimes pushing something away is the only way that we can communicate when we're experiencing an intense sensation. And so something that you can do that will really support you beforehand is creating a place with your partner where you two are feeling very connected and very in tune. Because honestly, birth is a natural, normal physiologic event. And you as the partner absolutely have instincts and an ability to show up for the birth process in alignment with the person who you love, who is giving birth, and to be able to feel them and where they are and respond to them intuitively as labor unfolds. That doesn't mean that no communication has to happen. It's important to be able to communicate in labor, but it's good to also focus on the intuition piece as well, so that there are many different ways in which you're able to connect with your partner and communicate with them throughout the labor process. So if you're curious on how to show up for your partner during labor, the first thing that I want to share is that the best thing truly that you can do is to love your partner, overcome your fear, and ground firmly into the present moment, and to be that rock for your partner throughout their labor experience. Which means that any moment when they have a feeling of doubt arise or shakiness, that they're able to turn back to you and you can reflect to them that they've got this, that you believe in them, and that they can do it. But the thing is, if you're overwhelmed with your own fear in the moment, or you have a lack of knowledge on what is normal for birth, it can make sense for you to want to outsource your own power and your own intuition and to look to someone else to give you the answer. So ultimately, the best way for you to support your partner is to love yourself and love them throughout the birth experience. And if you can be present with your partner and if you can fully love them, your instincts will kick in. And I truly believe that in many ways you will know what to do. And at the same time, it can be really helpful to have knowledge on positions and tools and coping mechanisms and different things that you can do to support your partner throughout birth. So you have the connection piece and you also have the logistical tool support piece. So I cover tools for managing sensations of labor in module 4 of my course. So if you're in my group, you can go there. And if you aren't in my group, you can click the link below to start your 7-day free trial of my course and give them a look. Basically, I invite you to think about all 5 senses. What is your partner seeing? What are they smelling? What can they feel, hear, and touch? Aromatherapy is an evidence-based way to decrease pain and anxiety during birth, and creating an environment with the things that your partner sees are comforting and calming and supportive to birth can be helpful as well, like low lighting or flowers or special things like that. Knowing affirmations and knowing the things to say that can be helpful during labor is another thing that you can focus on. I often find that partners want to sometimes be the coach and tell the person who's giving birth what to do, and that's really not helpful. But some things that you can say are, you are doing this. Your body knows how to do this. You are safe. You are with me. I love you. You've got this. I won't leave your side. When it comes to taste, I invite you to have the ingredients or have snacks that are the most comforting for your partner. Having comfort foods, different foods that specifically bring the feeling of comfort, foods that maybe your grandmother fed you when you were a child. Those can sort of bring this feeling of safety and comfort to someone in labor and can be really helpful. And yes, it is absolutely safe to eat during labor and incredibly beneficial. And we can talk about that another time. And the last is touch. And touch is the most common ways that I see partners offer support during labor. And there are a few different ways to do this. There's an illustration in module 4 about how to do some of these techniques. But really what I tell partners is to offer support physically in whatever way they intuitively feel is best for their partner, because they know them and they know their body. And so they probably already have a good sense around what kind of touch is most comforting. Touch can also feel very different in labor. Just a little bit of touch can feel really overwhelming, or it could feel really comforting. So it's important to be able to be flexible and put hands on or take hands off if needed. There are actually ways that you can help the pelvis to open more for baby to pass through by doing counter pressure, which is where you put direct pressure right on the sacrum, or the double hip squeeze, which is where you put pressure on each side of their hips and squeeze together and lift up just a little bit. And when you do that, it helps open the pelvis slightly, and that can really help with discomfort, and it can also help support labor progression by allowing for more space in your pelvis for baby to move through. But really, as the partner, if you two are really connected and you love each other, when you touch each other and hold each other, your partner is probably going to feel oxytocin. And the more oxytocin they feel, the more that labor is supported, because oxytocin is the love hormone. And oxytocin helps with labor progression, and it also helps control bleeding after baby is born. And so holding your partner and snuggling them and swaying with them and kissing them and loving them, all those things can support your partner's natural oxytocin production, and that can significantly support their labor experience to be one where they first feel positive about their experience and feel connected to you, but that they also are able to progress well through labor because they're getting support with oxytocin production. I like to say that the same way to have a baby is the same way to make a baby. So creating an environment together where you two are able to really connect and touch and share emotional intimacy is going to be so supportive to the labor progress and so supportive to both of your relationship and your connection and the way your baby comes into the world. So I invite you both to really get clear together on your philosophy of birth, on your preferences, and on what it is that you two are creating for your family, and to recognize that your birth matters. And I invite you not to compromise for anyone else's comfort, but instead to choose to be fully committed to being authentically you and committed to the values that both you and your partner share. You've got this.